Percy Sutton was not only a prominent civic and business leader, he was also deeply devoted to the Apollo and was integral to carrying the Apollo forward when it was in danger of being closed. We stand on his shoulders. This year, we are honored to present the 4th Percy Sutton Award to the Ford Foundation, and I am especially thrilled that the award will be accepted by the Foundation's president and my friend and colleague, Darren Walker. We love Darren. The Ford Foundation has been a very long time generous supporter of the Apollo, and when I asked Darren who he would like to present the award, he had just one thought: Anna DeVere Smith.
I'm Anna DeVere Smith. Good news to me is that I'm here with Darren Walker, the fairly new president of the Ford Foundation, who's here to accept an award called the Percy Sutton Leadership Award. And we're both here to celebrate the gorgeous, beautiful Apollo Theater and its tradition.
Right. The Apollo is good news. The Apollo is good news for anyone who cares about culture and the arts in America.
One last question. What's peace for you? We're very involved with achieving world peace.
I think the work that Anna DeVere Smith is doing on the prison pipeline represents the opportunity for us to have peace and reconciliation in this country, to resolve our decades-old challenges of the imprisonment and miseducation of thousands and thousands of Americans.
I bet you feel the same.
Well, I think peace is listening. And I think it's very difficult for us to do that because, quite frankly, we're all so full of ourselves.
That's a beautiful thought. Thank you very much for sharing.
Anna defies categorization. You may know her as a playwright, actress, professor, or winner of the MacArthur Genius Award. Or perhaps you recognize her as the National Security Advisor on the West Wing, or the wacky hospital administrator on Nurse Jackie. That's one of my personal favorites. Her plays, Fire in the Mirror and Twilight, Los Angeles, 1992, created a new genre, a blend of theatrical art, social commentary, journalism, and intimate reverie. It is my great pleasure to welcome Anna to the Apollo stage. Anna.
Thanks for having me. Percy Sutton, for whom this award is named, defined leadership like this. He said, one of the best ways to evaluate what kind of leader you are is what kind of organization you build. How many people you influence to do something. This is what the Ford Foundation has been about since its inception in 1936, influencing people to do something. For example, the foundation supported the work of many who became Nobel laureates. When I count 36 economists, 6 physicists, 2 for peace, 1 chemist, 1 lone literary giant, Saul Bellow. Darren, I know your plate is full, but perhaps take a note, stop in Stockholm and do something about diversity in the Nobel Prize. Percy Sutton, second on his list for good leadership. Put your purposes before the public and have the public come to you and support you in these purposes. For almost 80 years, the foundation has put its purpose before the public, and that purpose is to support social change innovators. And of course, arts and artists are on the front lines of social change innovation. We see the world not as it is, but as it could be. Note that Sutton says that the public will support the purpose, even as Ford supports us. We also support their purpose by exemplifying that purpose in our works. Many of the Foundation's grantees are its disciples, spreading its mission throughout the world by making positive change and social justice manifest. Ford has supported a lot of Harlem arts organizations. You know them: Studio Museum in Harlem, Harlem School of the Arts, Harlem Children's Zone, El Museo del Barrio, Harlem Stage, Gatehouse, and the Apollo Theater. The list goes on and on. Darren is the perfect leader for Ford at this moment. And when it was announced that Ford Foundation had just named Darren Walker as its president, there was a worldwide yes, for many reasons. But I think because of his extraordinary curiosity and his vigor for life. When he entered the University of Texas at Austin, I quote, he said, "I drank up UT from a fire hose. I drank every drop of it." And you have that feeling that he is currently drinking every drop of what the world has to give and a sense of what he can do about it. Part of what he drank every drop of was his first experience of seeing the Dance Theater of Harlem perform at the University of Texas. And it was the Ford Foundation that helped launch the Dance Theater of Harlem. Darren, I think there was something prophetic for you as you sat in that audience. Darren Walker is, of course, no stranger to Harlem. His years at the Abyssinian Development were productive and provocative in Harlem, like those of Sutton. He developed housing, he financed commercial projects, he oversaw the first public school built by a community organization, he got a path mark to come up here. Darren helped change Harlem. It is not hyperbolic that with the muscle and generosity of the Ford Foundation at his arms, he is changing the world. The Apollo Theater also has a mission that is inevitably in support of social change innovation. The music and art that has and will happen here on this stage, by nature of being African American, carries with it the torch for justice. The blues and its descendants have always carried a sub-message. When we sing, "Don't do me like that, don't leave me this way," it could be about a lover or it could be about the American government. One last bit of wisdom from Percy Sutton. A leader has to have followers. As of 4:27 p.m. today, the Ford Foundation had 74,341 Twitter followers. Now, a bit of wisdom. I end with a bit of wisdom from Darren Walker. There are 2 yellow Post-its on his computer monitor at the Ford Foundation. One says, "You rest, you rust." Ford has not rested, and I doubt that there will be many siestas during the tenure of Darren Walker. The other Post-it says, "Pressure is a privilege." I think that Darren should make a bronze plaque for the Apollo to put right backstage, because every brave soul who participates in the Apollo Theater Amateur Night could use that supportive sentiment when they step out on the stage, and as for 80 years now, not knowing if they will hear a bravo or a boo. Thank you, Ford Foundation, for all you've done to support social change innovators. Thank you, Apollo Theater, for supporting that innovation in the extraordinary artists you have delivered to Harlem, the city, and the world. And thank you, Darren, for bringing, like Percy Sutton did, just the right part of Texas to New York. Hook 'em.
Thank you to my friend Anna DeVere Smith. And Anna, before you leave the stage, I want to recognize you for something you are doing very importantly, and that is your school to prison pipeline project. The work you are doing in Baltimore to expose and amplify the reality for so many Americans who are trapped in a system that will not allow their dreams to be realized and recognized. So thank you, Anna DeVere Smith, for everything you do. And I do want to just briefly say that on behalf of my colleagues and the trustees of the Ford Foundation, that I'm deeply honored to receive this very special award. Percy Sutton was a person of remarkable courage and bravery. And I remember my first time coming to the Apollo in 1985 and getting off the train and walking and seeing this beautiful marquee, and it was dark because it didn't work. What got us to tonight? The marquee is gleaming and shining and makes us all so proud. This place is dazzling because of the courage of many people certainly Percy Sutton, but I am compelled to recognize my friend Dick Parsons for his inimitable leadership of the board, as well as the thing that every smart board does to hire remarkable, astonishing leadership. And the Apollo has that in Janelle Procope. And a great board with people like Ron Perlman, who are relentless and determined that excellence be on this stage. So on behalf of the Ford Foundation, I'm thrilled, we are honored, and I'm delighted to receive this award. Thank you very much.